This is the power of 2 workouts a week, low volume, high intensity training. You don't need to live in the gym, you don't need to sacrifice your life, 4 to 6 workouts a week, 10 to 20 sets per muscle group, all this fucking bullshit. You do not need that to build a great physique. In fact, doing that is probably the reason why you don't have the physique you want.
So man, where are we headed to right now?
Yeah, so right now we're headed off to the river near my house. We're gonna go for a little dip in the water.
So do you want to tell me why you're so against mainstream fitness?
So I'm against mainstream fitness for 2 reasons. The first is that mainstream fitness teaches you to treat fitness as the focal point of your life and to treat it as an obsession and something that you need to sacrifice for and something that needs to be this hardcore lifestyle, which is quite detrimental to actually living a good life, right? The key to fitness is to have it dialed in, but treat it as just one facet of your life, which is what it is, right? The next reason is that mainstream fitness advice has basically stemmed from drug users, right? Steroid users, bodybuilders, drugged up fitness influencers, and it's quite simply ineffective for like 99% of the population. Oh no, fuck. Yeah, we could do that. Is that like some B-roll you have in mind?
I was trying to capture B-roll, but shut the fuck up. So many guys watching are busy guys that don't have a lot of time for working out. Is it really possible to look like you without spending hours in the gym?
100%. You can 100% look like me, or perhaps even better. You have better genetics with the approach that I teach, which revolves around 2 workouts per week, literally 2 hours per week in the gym, maximum, right? So this was built with just 2 hours per week in the gym of intense training, focusing on getting strong on a handful of compound exercises.
Do you think that most people can achieve more than they think they can naturally?
I think definitely most people can achieve much more than they think they can, because conventional fitness instruction puts a cap on people who are not taking drugs because of the fact that conventional fitness instruction is so ineffective for the majority of people, right? Like very few people who live normal lives and who are not taking drugs can build great physiques, training 4 to 6 days a week with bro splits, tons of exercises per muscle group, 10 to 20 sets per muscle group, all this different bullshit. So most people are basically going through their fitness journeys handicapped because of the ineffective approach that they're taking to fitness.
So I noticed you're not doing squats today. How come?
So usually I start this workout with a couple sets of squats, but I was getting into my warm-up sets for squats and I started feeling a little bit of a pain, a little bit of a tenderness in my hip, like a stiffness. And so I just left squats for today. I think I slept on it funny, probably in like some weird twisted position, and I woke up, my hip was like feeling a little bit of pain. It was feeling very stiff and tight. And I was doing a couple warm-up sets. I started feeling that pain and I was like, fuck this, leaving it for today. You know, my younger self would have probably just pushed through that pain. But with experience, with, you know, training maturity, you come to understand that pushing through pain almost always just sets you back further. So you have to ditch this idea of like no pain, no gain. And you have to understand the difference between good pain, like muscle fatigue, and like pain that's actually, you know, your body telling you that you're doing something wrong or you shouldn't be pushing through this, right? So I decided to leave squats for today and just go straight into weighted pull-ups. So if you're ever feeling like some sort of pain or stiffness or tenderness, don't push through the pain. Just leave it. There's no harm in like not doing a given exercise for a workout, right? Skip it and, you know, let that area rest and recover, and hopefully you'll come back with the ability to then do it in the next workout. But if you were to push through that pain, there's a good chance that you'd set yourself out of training for a much longer period of time. Damn.
How is it that Hollywood celebrities get in such good shape so quickly? Is there something they know that most people don't?
Yeah, so Hollywood celebrities know the power of drugs. People think that, you know, just because these Hollywood celebrities don't have like these big, massive meathead bodybuilder appearances, that they're natural. But the truth is that you don't need to have that big bodybuilding appearance to still be taking drugs, right? And that's actually a big misconception people have, a big sort of mind fuck in the fitness industry, is that a lot of people, they appear to have natural bodies because they don't have that big bodybuilder appearance, but they're still taking shit, right? So there's no secret to these quick body transformations that actors do for movie roles. It's simply drugs and large quantities of them.
So, a couple months ago you started doing one-on-one coaching. What are you hoping to achieve out of this?
So what I'm hoping to achieve with the one-on-one coaching that I offer is to get people better results much quicker. So an issue that I was seeing with the do-it-yourself course that I was selling for a while is that, you know, yes, it has lots of the information, and information is extremely valuable, but people didn't put as much of an investment into it. Obviously, due to the nature of it being a course, something you have to do yourself, people, it wasn't as big of a financial investment. And so with the one-on-one coaching, it's a bit of a bigger investment, but the guys come in really ready to go, and they're willing to take action, right? And they're paying not for the information. Information is a commodity, right? They're paying to save their fucking time because they understand, like most millionaires and billionaires do, that time is much more valuable than money. So they would rather save the time and the headache of having to go and find all the information, sort through hours and hours of content. They'd rather just give me the money to walk them through the fucking service without any headaches, without having to go through all the years of trial and error that I went through, and just getting the result much quicker. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve with it. It's just better results and quicker.
So where do you think you'd be right now in your fitness journey if you hadn't discovered low volume, high intensity training?
Where I'd be in my fitness journey if I hadn't discovered low volume, high intensity training is stuck. So before I discovered low volume, high intensity training, I literally did not make any progress in my physique. In fact, the first year of my training journey was spent doing mainstream fitness approaches, such as, you know, training 4 to 6 days a week with bro splits, doing 10 to 20 sets per muscle group. And all it left me was stagnant, right? I couldn't make any progress. And worst of all, my life was consumed by the gym. So not only was I not making progress in the gym, I literally was not getting anything in return for all the time and effort I was spending. And my life went to shit because I became one-dimensional. My life revolved around the gym. It revolved around my nutrition plan. And it no longer does with low volume, high intensity training. Best of all, my results are fucking fantastic.
So you're a big proponent of training twice a week. What are your thoughts on training, say, 3 times a week?
So training 3 times per week is extremely effective. So I've built my physique with a combination of 2 workouts a week and 3 workouts per week. You can train twice a week, which is my preferred way of doing things, or you can train 3 times a week. They're both equally as effective. That's a little bit more of an individual thing when it comes to how much recovery you have, how busy your lifestyle is. But the key thing to understand is that people get too caught up in the training split or the training days. It's more about following a set of core principles. And like the core principles that I teach with Polarity Fitness is, first, it's mainly doing low volume, high intensity training. Like that's the core thing. And whether you're training twice a week or 3 times per week, you can do low volume, high intensity training, which simply just means keeping your volume low, doing fewer exercises, fewer sets, and fewer training days in general, but pushing the training that you do very hard, right? So there are a few core principles. The first is focusing on progressive overload, right? Second, focusing on simple workouts. Third, focusing on big, basic compound exercises. And then the fourth is focusing on low volume. And then the fifth is focusing on high intensity. So as long as these principles are in place, whether you train 2 times a week or 3 times a week, it doesn't really matter.
You obviously read a lot of books around fitness and listen to a lot of different advice. How is it you figured out exactly who to listen to and whose work to actually apply?
So the way I essentially discovered what makes up a lot of my fitness philosophy is I'm a huge believer in going to the history, right? So if you want to learn a topic, right? If you want to learn about a field, you want to go to where it started, right? Because the older the problem, the older the solution. And what I've found in multiple areas of study is that if you want to really go to the purest source, you want to go to where it all started, because over time, information gets watered down and diluted. And that is the issue I see with modern day fitness advice, with a lot of the modern day fitness influencers and authorities, is that it's essentially just watered down bullshit, right? So what I did is I went to the source. I went to the 40s, the 50s. I went to the pre-steroid era of fitness where this shit, obviously, training has been around much longer than that, but where the advice was really, really good, I found out, was in the 40s and 50s, also known as the pre-steroid era of fitness.